Okay.
Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's TG here, and we are back with another video, a different video today. We're talking about cryptocurrency. A lot of you guys have been asking about crypto, and I don't have a lot of knowledge in crypto. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've owned crypto since 2017, but I don't know the ins and outs of crypto and all that goes into crypto. But there is someone that does. There's someone that has been extremely experienced with crypto, who knows a lot, who owns a lot, and has been constantly investing in crypto for a couple of years now. So his name is Cryptonite. We got an interview exclusively with him, and he's just going to break down what crypto is and answer some of the questions that I have and that some of you guys in the Discord have asked me about crypto. So why don't you introduce yourself, man?
All right, man. I'm Cryptonite. I've been basically investing in crypto for some years now, and primarily BTC and Litecoin, Ether for about maybe a little over like 5, maybe 10 years now. I was there from the start. Initially, I didn't take it seriously, but after a while, I realized it was here to stay.
Mhm.
So I began investing. So the reason why I chose crypto is because of just its rate of return. And when I noticed that the banks aren't really doing anything for us and aren't really there to facilitate you as the actual investor. You put your money in the bank, they just make money off your money, and that's it. You get probably like a 0.001, 0.0, it's nothing interest rate, depending on what kind of actual account you have. And the more I learned about finance and how to leverage the money I have, the more it just made sense to go get into the crypto space. A lot of people don't notice that right now, as we speak, Bitcoin is probably the most lucrative asset that you can own right now. The market cap is like I think it's $1.4 trillion. And in 6 years it was already at $1 trillion. To Amazon, to Google, 20 years, I believe. I think the Google, right, 20 years for Google to become $1 trillion company. It took Bitcoin 6 years. So that's just to give you like a little synopsis of what's to come.
Mhm.
And the forecast is good. I think crypto is a good space if you could just handle a little volatility. The volatility is what really scares people away, but nothing in life is straight up. Nothing's go straight up, and if it does, you should be very scared.
Yeah, it's not a good investment if it only does that.
Yeah, it's not a good investment. So it's gonna be pullbacks. These things happen, but generally, if you can handle that, then go ahead. So, but what is you have to develop a strategy, just like anything else. You have to develop a strategy for you to become successful in this crypto space. You just can't just come in and just with the mind frame like I'm just gonna go in and I'm gonna get rich overnight. No, it's gonna be some volatility. You do need to take profits. These are things that people need to understand, because a lot of people feel like they just want to put their money in something and forget it there. Well, investment doesn't work that way. You know what I mean? And if the banks take profits and the investors take profits, then you should take profits.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Nothing. You just can't just leave your investment there and just think it's gonna keep on maturing. Now right now we see a rise in NFTs. Right, everybody's excited about the NFTs, and I think it's a great opportunity.
Explain that so like people who don't know what NFTs are, can you explain that to them?
Well, NFTs is going to be is sort of like a token. So what's happening is they're giving artists an avenue to sort of express themselves. Not only artists, but all other entrepreneurs. So one that piqued my interest was Azalea Banks, which is she's like a hip hop artist slash influencer. She just came out with an NFT, which is a porno, right? For 17,000, and she got 20,000 for it. So I mean 200,000 for it. So it's like it's a flip, whatever you want to. It's just so it's right now we're moving into a digital space. So for us folks who are in that space, especially for the actual the new generation coming up, that's where they're gonna be at. Is and live in this digital space. So artists need to find a way to express themselves on that platform, and NFT is a great way they can express themselves in terms of art, in terms of music. The first album came out on an NFT, and it did good numbers. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So there's another opportunity. Now, one thing I can say for people investing in crypto is just do your due diligence. There are a lot of scams out there, just like anything else.
Mhm.
There will be scams wherever there's money and the potential to capitalize off of anything. There will be scams, so don't let that deter you from from investing. You know, I think a lot of people, what other concerns? I hear a lot of concerns people have. Like a lot of people say, well, the banks aren't invested in crypto. Well, they are. You know what I mean? If it wasn't for the regulators, all the banks, all the companies would be disclosing that they're invested in crypto. But with regulation, it's hard for them to do that. So they got to do sneaky stuff, go under the table to actually just get a piece of the pie. You know what I mean? Vanguard is invested in crypto.
Yeah, I've
What does
seen
that
a lot.
tell?
They invested a big amount.
I mean, I'm not even. I'm just leaving it up to the viewers to do their own due diligence to see how much they invested. But Greystone is the largest investor. They own the most crypto in the world, about $1 trillion worth of crypto. So that's a whale of a that's a whale of a move. If they ever move, you feel it.
Yeah.
About 1800 crypto, 1800 BTC was moved. I believe it was between yesterday and today. And yesterday it happened. The whole market dipped.
Mhm.
So that's just to show you the impact it has on the market. When these whales move. But I think what people appreciate about crypto is not government regulated.
Mhm.
So the government isn't regulating Bitcoin.
So it's
Is that
completely decentralized, right?
Yes, it's completely decentralized, and the BTC in particular is the only proof of work network that we have. Is the only one. The next one down to it is Bitcash. You know what I mean? Ether's here to stay, but unless they do something about the gas fees, it's not gonna do so well as Bitcoin in the future. Because a lot of these other tokens run off the Ethereum platform. You know what I mean?
Now, what are
Another
gas fees? What when someone says, "Oh, the gas fees have been going up," what does that mean for investors?
Well, it's a transaction fee for actually for performing the task, right? Because everything has to be verified, and when you do a transaction, it has to be verified that to make sure that the transaction is complete. You know what I mean? So so that's why they charge these gas fees. But now that more people are becoming aware of crypto and coming into the crypto space, they increase the gas fees, just like everything else. It's supply and demand.
Mhm.
So they know people are going to buy, and people are not going to have a choice but to pay the increased gas fees, so they get away with it.
What percentage
And
exactly?
every site has their different deal. Every
So
site has their
it's based
different
off
deal.
site, not the actual coin.
Yes, it's based off the site that you're using. So
Okay.
the exchange you're using, so I should say, so to speak. So I use multiple exchanges from Binance to Zerion, Dharma. It's a slew of coins that you could actually depend on what state you're in that you
Mhm.
could purchase. It varies from state to state, but as you could see, it's varies from state to state because of the regulation.
Yeah.
The regulators has to get involved, and in bitcoins in bitcoin's instances, for instance, is just it's a big derivatives market for Bitcoin. It's
Mhm.
huge. A derivative is like $4 trillion market cap.
It's insane.
Yeah, if you count the futures and all that stuff, and all that moves the market. But a lot of investors aren't really smart enough to really look into these things and take it into account, and how that volatility in itself changes the market. So like if futures for Bitcoin is up, like I think it's on the 27th of March,
Mhm.
then we know what that happens, right? A lot of people are going to be trying to get out their positions at that time. So
Yeah.
so it's so the best time to sell would have been the first week in March.
Mhm.
So now you see, now as we're winding down, how the volatility is. So it definitely goes hand in hand with the market also, as we saw of last March, right? Bitcoin took a serious dip as the market dipped,
I think
serious pullback.
was it a year ago? Yesterday was it crashed 50% in one day, right? Down to like $4,000. It was like one of
Yeah,
the biggest drops in Bitcoin history. Was about a year ago today.
yeah, because it goes along with the market, supply
Yeah.
and demand, you know what I mean? But as you could see, it recovered better than the market.
Much better, much better.
So, that just proves to the testament of Bitcoin. And as Bitcoin goes up, a lot of these other coins are going to come up with it.
Mhm.
They're going to come up with it. Yeah, but there's a lot of new opportunities for investors now in terms of getting to the NFT market, because there are different NFTs. There's even NFTs for like young entrepreneurs that want to get into real estate. I saw one NFT that says, you know what, we have a rehab. We're going to getting it at 60. The return rate after we fix it is going to be 120.
Mhm.
So you have a chance to get a piece of that action. The DeFi space also gives you pools, so you could get essentially it's sort of like dividends. You put in a pool, and the pool invests, and you get a percentage of that return.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So it's so many different avenues that you could actually get in. And other coins have a derivatives market also. Ether has a big derivatives market. It would be bigger if the gas fees was smaller, and it's a whole bunch of things. Ether 2.0 is coming out, and that's going to be a big thing, which is going to decrease the gas fees, and it's going to burn some of the actual Ether, increasing the value. So that's a lot of things that people are anticipating. And it's really going to help, because the gas fees do drive the prices. A
Mhm.
lot of people, just think about it. If you're paying a higher price, you probably buy less of the item.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You would think of twice before investing, because between the gas prices and the fluctuation, is hard to find that happy medium. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now,
But
when you hear all these coins, though, like that, there's what, over 2,000 cryptocurrencies now?
I would say 10, 20,000.
20,000, my bad, 20,000.
Yeah.
Does that worry you at all that there's that many out there?
It doesn't worry me at all, because it's room enough for everybody. It's with anything. It's just not. It's who does it the best. It's who does it the best. We spoke about the dot-com boom, and you sort of correlated it to the actual dot-com boom, and that is exactly what it is. That is exactly what it is. There's 1,000 companies out there, but guess what? If you chose a Yahoo, if you chose if you chose one of those, then you was that guy. You made that decision. It's up to you to realize and see the vision and see what the platform could do. So what I do is I do a lot of research, and I look at their platform, look at their following, see their following on Twitter, see what their followings on Discord, see how they're marketing, see what the website look like. And you can sort of tell the direction that the company is actually moving in by just that itself. And then you see what their platform is it something that has some sort of usability. A lot of these coins don't have any usability, so it's like you're like, whoa. Or you may find it has usability, but we're not there yet.
Yeah.
So so if um so you find that a lot of the coins wasn't moving during the pandemic, because there wasn't that much usability for these coins during the pandemic.
Mhm.
You can't have a coin that's associated with concerts and stuff. There's one coin that's going to be associated for concerts in Japan. You can't have that coin if the Japanese people are under quarantine. We're
Mhm.
not having no concerts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now things are opening up. Everything's gonna go back up. So for me personally, my strategy is sort of investing in the coins that have something to do with finance. Any coin that has to do with finance is going to do good, most likely. Any coin that has something to do with gaming is going to do good, because we have a large population of gamers. Also, adult entertainment, because any coin associated with adult entertainment is good, right? And any coin that's involved in any black market dealings is good,
Mhm.
i.e., Bitcoin and Ethereum, that they use on the black market, because that's a market that's going to always go. I mean, as much as people think it's taboo, but it's what sells. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Silk Road
Is
back in the day, that's what Bitcoin was used for.
Yeah, I mean, back in the day, that's what Bitcoin was used for. Just like alcohol was illegal and gambling was illegal in Vegas until they made it legal. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? So is that ability to see what's in the future. The future, what right now is happening. This moment is happening right now. So we can't think about this moment. We have to think about what's happening in the future. Now, I think for most investors, if they saw it coming, they would have hedged their bets on Bitcoin. So I'll tell you what, right? if you invest in a Bitcoin moves at a rate of like an average of 200% per year.
Mhm.
So you think about it. If you to put your money in Bitcoin, just not any other altcoin, Bitcoin, you would have been moving at a rate of 200% per year. There's no other asset that's doing that for you.
Yeah, I mean, the market you get about maybe 11% a year S&P 500. So
Yeah. So you know over the years, Bitcoin has moved almost 40,000%. So we're talking about if you was an early investor, you would and a lot of people are concerned with, oh well, they're not going to be enough Bitcoin, and but it's not about it. There always going to be enough Bitcoin as long as there are decimal places. There's going to be enough.
mhm.
Now, for the new investors, what I always tell them is invest in the smaller coins first.
Invest in the
So that way,
smaller ones over Bitcoin.
yes, invest in the small coins first, and then hop into Bitcoin because it gives you a higher rate of return. Like I said, if you get to one of the smaller coins that's like in the thousandths of a cent, if you reach to the dollar, you have a good chance of 10x and 100x and
Mhm.
off your return, which is which is going to be a greater chance than better chance than actual Bitcoin.
But a lot more risk associated with those bets, though, right?
Not well, it's riskier, but if you do your due diligence, it's not really a risk. I can prove that time and time again. You know what I mean? It's just is over $500 investment. I made roughly $5,000 today. I could have took profits at 7, but I just left it there because pullbacks are normal. You
Mhm.
know, I was up 7,000 off a $500 investment, but I said, you know what? I'm not gonna take profits because it's gonna go more.
Mhm.
I got it, though I paid like 0.000 something for it. So what I mean, I'm not losing anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So
So
what is your portfolio? What coins are you holding right now? Which ones do you plan on, buying more of, selling some? Like which ones are you in, and what's your strategy when it comes to buying these coins? How much are you putting in? What is your risk management strategy? Go into the details of that a little bit if you will.
so my risk management strategy, I have sort of like a higher threshold because I sort of have so much invested that I'm pretty, even if I'm losing on one end, I'm gaining on another end. So my threshold is probably like 20%. If I see a coin go lower than 20%, then I'm gonna drop it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
That's not a good number for me. Now, it also depends on the project. Each project is different. So that's why I tell people each project is totally totally different. Like for example, ADA has a huge potential. However, they don't have no client. They're not doing anything. They
Mhm.
haven't been doing anything since last year. So no movement, no traction. We got a little traction with ADA because Chase is now gonna adopt ADA, and they said they're gonna back ADA, which was good news. And then Coinbase picked it up, and that's another good news. So it pumped up a little bit today, but ADA wasn't doing anything for a while. So I felt like I personally felt like getting out of ADA, but I know that the potential is there. One of my favorites is Dot. Dot has a humongous ecosystem, and it's a big competitor for. Is going to be a big competitor for Ether because Ether also have a huge ecosystem, but the gas fees are too high. So if people pay attention, what's happening is each coin is trying to solve a problem of something else. So Dot is solving the problem from these humongous gas fees that Ether has. So now their ecosystem has I can't even count how many coins they have in their ecosystem, but it's over 20 for sure. You know what I mean? Not that people are going to stop using Ether, not that coins are going to stop using Ether, but they're going to start looking for other coins, other alternatives. And what I want people to understand is Bitcoin is a mother coin. That is that is it. That is the Godzilla.
Mhm.
But these other coins are like sort of like corporations. So corporations do deals with other companies. There's
Mhm.
enough room for everybody. You know what I mean? It's like a free. So it's not to say that they're not as good as Bitcoin, but they're just not the Godzilla. They're just like any other company. They could do deals with other companies, and that drives competition.
Mhm.
Competition, capitalism. That's what it is about. It's competition. So the competition is going to help drive the overall market up. You know, in the long run. So don't think, well, there's 20,000 coins or something like that. Oh my God, how do I, you know? But is the strongest will survive.
Mhm.
You know what I
So
mean? And
some are gonna strive, and some of them are gonna fail, is what you're saying.
for sure, for sure. So my overall strategy, the bull market happens every 4 years. Every 4 years is a bull market.
Mhm.
Now, this year we're there's speculation that it might just be a super cycle, and we see a cycle till January. If we're lucky. But if we're not lucky, we see a very, very big pullback in like October.
Mm.
You know, so my strategy is to actually hedge on the smaller coins and get out of them like July. So like July, whatever I'm invested in, probably like 25 coins right now, all
Jeez.
coins.
Yeah.
So now my strategy would be to by July start getting out of these coins,
Mm.
taking profits, putting it into stable coins, or putting it, so I'm gonna do like probably like 50% between Bitcoin, um, Litecoin, and Ether. Then the rest would just be altcoins, and probably stay a little bit in cash. You know what I mean? There's stable coins are coins that don't fluctuate as much. So for the viewers that don't know what stable coins is, so a strategy I use a lot because I have so many different wallets is if I purchase Bitcoin or Ether, I will change it into a stable coin before I buy, because the price at which I buy, at which I transfer, it could drop. So
Mhm.
like let's say I transfer Ether at 2,000 for a coin. I transfer it to the wallet at 2,000 for a coin, and it drops to 1,800. That reduces my buying power.
Mhm.
So if I change it to USDC, then USDC will remain at $1 or $1.01. It will
It's a
remain
pattern,
that.
basically. Yeah. It's
So
a
yeah,
pattern, basically.
yeah, so yeah, I'll change it into that, and in the interim until I buy, so that I don't lose anything.
Yeah.
So is all these little strategies that people need to know when they get into things. So people that are in this space, you'll be like 50% in Bitcoin, but 25% in stablecoin. You
Mm.
get what I'm trying to say? Then the next 25% you may want to hedge into the actual altcoins.
Mhm.
So my largest position is in Bitcoin for sure. By far, it's my largest position. But by just time, it's not going to be my largest position because these other coins are just moving so fast.
Mhm.
They're just moving so fast. So it's so easy to 100x. People do that every day. A lot of people 100x on Hodge. And Hodge isn't even a cent, it isn't even a thousandth of a cent yet, and people are already 100x on that. You know what I mean? So it's just insane. It's just really insane. So when you think about it, it makes you question why you even be in the market,
Mhm.
because you're chasing for these gains, but these gains you're getting that every day.
Yeah. I mean, that
You
could
know,
also worry investors. You see like things just going up exponential amounts. Like you said, there has to be pullbacks. Pullbacks are healthy. Pullbacks are essential. So sometimes when you see these companies or cryptos, my bad, going up so much, you wonder like, is the pullback? Am I getting in too late? Is it going to crash soon? Um, how do you prepare for that? Like having so much in something, how do you prepare for something so volatile, even something as well-rounded as Bitcoin, the biggest of the biggest, as we've seen even yesterday, an 8% drop on a small day. You know what I mean?
how you do that for smaller investors is a little bit tough, because it's harder for them to really judge what their actual rate of return is. So
Hmm.
if you an investor that doesn't have that much in Bitcoin, and you say, well, you know what, why don't you do that? They'll tell you, well, something like, oh, well, it costs too much money for me to actually sell and buy back.
Hmm.
Well, it really doesn't. You know what I mean? It really does. It's all relative to the amount you're doing. For me, is the numbers are more rounded because I have more than one coin. You know what I mean? I literally have more than one coin. So let's say if I wanted to trade one Bitcoin, right? And I would have sold at 61,000, sold at 61,000, and probably buy back in at 54,000 and make profits, take my profits. So it doesn't matter that I'm losing $500 doing the actual deal. That's just a cost of doing business. I
Yeah.
made a couple $1,000.
Yeah.
You see what I'm trying to say?
Mhm.
So it makes sense to me to do it that way. But somebody that doesn't have a coin is gonna say, oh well, it's the fees and blah blah. Well, you get a round number. If you owned a whole coin, you could sell at 61,000. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then buy back. Now a lot of people are scared to say, oh well, it's gonna keep on. It's not gonna keep on going up. Nothing goes up forever. You know what I mean? So you just have to be a little patient with everything else. It is going to come back. A lot of people weren't patient and bought it at the top, and it's just I don't want to have I don't want to pretend like I'm giving you an answer for everything, but it's really a perfect system, and everybody gets it at the price they deserve to get it. That's just what it is. We need people to buy at the top.
Yeah.
That's what drives the market. I mean, unfortunately, it's hard to say that, but we need people to buy the top. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
And
it's the same thing in stocks. Like someone has to be buying, someone has to be selling. There has to be one or the other. It's just the way it is.
yeah, this is just the way it is. But what I want to, and especially the older folks, I try to explain to the older folks, and they just can't conceptualize that there's just digital currency and they put in this money on this computer. But that's where the world is going. China has no banks, guys. It's over.
Mhm.
China has no banks, and the reason why China was able to do this is because their economy, their economy was so behind and so underdeveloped that would cost them so much to actually do the infrastructure and build banks as opposed to just giving everybody a cell phone. Do we pay? Hey, everybody, do we pay? Hey, you just take a cell phone. So what happens when Africa does that? What happens when India does that? Then it's over. So in the next 5-10 years, everybody's gonna have a cell phone.
Mhm.
So as much as people want to say they don't like technology or AI, and your phone is AI at this point.
Mhm.
So and everybody has a cell phone, so you can't fight it. You just have to go with it because it's happening. It's just happening, and every Bitcoin, every altcoin that comes out is a solution to a problem. Every altcoin that comes out is a solution to a problem, a real world situation. So you just have to know and figure out what that situation is, and is it something that's viable, and is it something that's going to last. There's a coin I'm really excited about. I didn't get in, but I'm just watching it just take off. It's Theta.
Mhm. I've heard of
Theta's yeah, Theta. The one of the developers that was instrumental in developing YouTube and things like that. He's doing that. So that's going to be a platform, a streaming platform for actual gamers to have a space, and to stream and stuff like that. So that's something that's exciting, and that shot to $7.
So the
You
coin
know,
itself is what does the coin have to do with the space? Because some people get confused, like, oh, a certain coin solves a certain problem. How is that coin? How does that coin drive that? How does that coin work?
well, the coin that coin in particular improves the graphics for the gamers because the graphics so kind of you need a lot of graphics, megapixels, stuff like that for gamers to stream. So it takes a lot of graphics. So that actually solved that problem. Now there's a slew of other coins that serve different purposes. So like another one of the NFTs like that's I'm interested in is called CHZ. Is Chile's now. Is soccer teams are adopting in Europe are adopting that coin, and soccer is the most popular sport in the world.
Mhm.
So is that's something that's going to take off eventually. It's not something that I would say I'm going to do long term because sports is sort of like up in the air with all the stuff that's going on. If there's another pandemic, sports is going to suffer.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So gaming is not going to suffer. If there's another pandemic, then we're going to see more people into gaming.
Yeah.
You get what I'm trying to say? So you sort of have to hedge your bets and figure out which is the right direction. There's another coin, ENJ. A lot of people are getting involved with that one. That's also for gaming. HV I think it's HYVE. I'm not sure, but there's another coin that Microsoft and a slew of other software companies are involved in. So we know that there's a lot of institutional backing. That that there's a good chance of the coin having some at least 1,000% before the year's over. You know what I mean? So it's just sort of like doing your due diligence and doing the research and figuring out what's the best option. But for sure, if you invest in a coin that's a thousandth of a cent, for sure you're guaranteed to at least 10x minimum.
If it
You
works
know,
out, right?
yeah. If it, even if it doesn't work out, it's like with the stimulus. Not everybody's gonna be put their money in Bitcoin. People, their concern is gonna say, "Oh, Bitcoin is too expensive. Let me look for something cheaper."
Hmm.
You know, so all these coins are gonna get pumped either way. You know what I mean? Just like these meme stocks, it's gonna get pumped. It just has to happen. That's what it is. You know, who smart investors are gonna win because smart investors are gonna take their profits,
Yeah.
while the bag holders are gonna just watch it and say, "Oh, it looks cute." You know what I mean? Like you don't. We in the investment space, we're not tied to anything.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not tied to nothing's here forever. You know, you just have to ride the wave and just get off. That's it. You know what I mean? So that's my advice to investors.
Hmm.
Just smart investing, take profits. So if you invest $1,000 and your coin is up 100%, well, take your initial investment out.
Hmm.
That way you're playing with house money.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So, is not like anything else. Not what you do, is how you do it. So if you do it that way, then that's good risk management, because you're not losing anything.
Yeah.
You know, so it just makes sense to 100x your money than put it into Bitcoin,
Yeah.
which is something that's more stable.
Hmm.
Instead of saying, well, this $1,000 I'm just gonna put it into Bitcoin, when you could 100x that $1,000 and then put a portion into Bitcoin, leave some runners, see if you could invest in, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's gonna be the best advice I could give new investors that's not already in those coins. But Ether has a lot of potential, and we all think that it's gonna